Hello and welcome to Fidelity Next, our webcast that helps take students to the next level. I'm Tamara Radishai, and I'll be your host for today's episode. Emerging technology is a space full of possibilities, from something as simple as automating a series of tasks to artificial intelligence becoming a permanent part of our lives. Technology helps us evolve with new capabilities, say goodbye to manual labor, and save time and effort along the way. And the opportunities to make that impact start early. Today, we're going to hear from a panel of co-op students currently working on the Emerging Technologies team, early adopters of tech careers. Please welcome Mahdi Jalil, Vipul Girish Kumar, and Oscar Malik to the Fidelity Next stage. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so let's start with a little bit about everyone. If you can all tell me where you go to school, your program, and then what you do at Fidelity. Mahdi, let's start with you.
Thank you. So I'm currently studying industrial engineering at the University of Toronto. I'm currently on my 5th co-op term with the automation team in the Emerging Technologies department at Fidelity. And I'm really excited to have our discussion today.
Cool. Vipul?
I'm a 4th-year international student studying comp science and business administration at the University of Waterloo. And this is my 3rd co-op, first one at Fidelity. So I previously worked as a full stack and a portfolio developer. And I'm in the automation team at Emerging Tech.
Oscar?
And I go to McMaster. I'm doing commerce and computer science there. And previously, I worked at Fiera Capital as a data analyst and at the Healthcare of Ontario Pension Plan as a systems developer. And over here, I'm just happy to help people save time.
Awesome. Nice, well-rounded group. Can you all talk about what drew you into the technology space? Mahdi?
Yeah, that's a very good question. When I entered my undergrad to sort of look into what I wanted to do my career, I was looking to apply the problem-solving skills familiar with engineers, but to apply that in a way to sort of help people use their time better and invest more time into looking into working on the things that they enjoy doing. Mm-hmm. And technology is a key part of that. By automating and working on tasks that help people put sort of more time into their own hands and gives them autonomy over the work that they do, they can invest that time doing the things that they love. And a key way of achieving that is through technology.
Cool. Vipul, what about you?
So the main idea that got me into tech was creative problem solving and the ability to take ownership of the work you do. And at Emerging Tech, I'm able to take ownership of my projects and work through like the initial requirement gathering from the stakeholders to all the way to development and testing. And that's something I value, and that's what got me into tech. Yeah.
Awesome. Oscar?
And I'll build on to what Mahdi and Vipul both had to say. So for me, I just love trying new things. So when it came to computers, I just loved to play around and just see the different things I could do with software. And with emerging technology, I would say, just like Vipul, being able to own the work that you do and also consult with different stakeholders, that's just been a great opportunity for me to use technology and talk to other people who love technology as much as I do.
Awesome. You guys are making me rethink my life choices now. To those tuning in, if you have any questions, please feel free to throw those into the comments section, and one of us will get back to you after the show. Mahdi, so you're in your 5th work term at Fidelity. Can you tell us what kept you coming back that many times?
The simple answer is I joined and I loved it. The more nuanced answer is there's 2 components. It's the work and the culture. Mm-hmm. A key part of what Vipul was saying about being able to lead a development cycle from the initial requirements gathering phase all the way through to sort of handoff, and witnessing that entire process really early on in my career is something I really enjoy and I really valued. And Fidelity and the Emerging Technologies team specifically gave us the opportunity to be able to do that. And then the variety of projects that I've been working on since joining the team has constantly changed and expanded, really increasing the number of exposure to all these tools that I've been exposed to. And then the second part about the variety, just to expand on that, it's the tools and techniques we're using. I've been here for almost a year and a half, and I haven't done the same project twice, which really speaks to the learning opportunities that have been presented to me. And yeah, I've enjoyed every single project that I've worked on since.
That's amazing. That's a great segue into the next question, actually. So you're on the automation team, you try and make things easier, simplify. What's an example of a project that you've worked on?
Ooh, that's a very good question. I think a lot of the projects that I work on are tangible or can be measured with tangible impacts that it leads to someone within the company to feel and sort of going back to my earlier response about putting more time into people's hands. And being part of the emerging technologies team, we have access to new tools and techniques that are constantly being introduced to the market and are available for people to use. And that's something we explore and sort of incorporate. And so tools like generative AI or automation, where we're coming up with summarizations and tools and chatbots and presenting those to customers within Fidelity has been very exciting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to keep on using these tools.
Yeah, it's really exciting seeing it all come to life, like seeing it on websites
Definitely.
or wherever else.
Definitely.
Cool. So Vipul, it's your first co-op term at Fidelity.
Yeah.
How did Fidelity get on your radar? What brought you here?
So I had a couple of friends who interned here and spoke a lot about it. So I reached out to a few people working at Fidelity at that time. And I learned about the amazing culture and the student program they have. And I'm getting to experience that right now. And being part of emerging tech, I have been facing different challenges. Every team project that we get is a different challenge. We get a chance to research on the tools that will be the right fit for that project. And these are some things that have been a great opportunity for me. Yeah.
Awesome. And you've said in an earlier conversation that it's a small but mighty team. So, I mean, not only is all the work you're doing getting noticed, but it's also, I'm sure, super appreciated, which is really, really nice. Can you give us an example of a project that you worked on?
Yeah, sure. So Fidelity is always trying to incorporate tech into its financial services, trying to make business processes more efficient. So I worked on a few projects with creating an app for teams to calculate scores, and also created a whole system for reviewing and submitting documents for meetings. So yeah, these were just high-level overview of the projects I worked on.
Awesome. Oscar, your first co-op term at Fidelity as well. What brought you here? How did you find out about it?
So Fidelity has always been on my radar for their finance because I also have an interest in finance. I took my CFA just a month ago at this point. And with that, I got introduced to their technology team through our director, John, who has posted so much about the technology that's interested him on LinkedIn. So with that, I just felt like maybe I should also check out Fidelity's technology side, because as much as I wanted to look at the finance, the technology here speaks for itself, and it's just been a great experience being able to help people with saving time and building projects that allow them to work on more value-add work. It's been a great experience here.
And you mentioned earlier, not just to save time, but help people find new time, which I love that. That's such a nice line. How have you done that in your day-to-day, or is there an example of a project that you can think of that helps people find new time?
So a project that I worked on recently for a stakeholder within our Fidelity, we worked together to be able to create a process for employees to submit forms and have the forms sent off through email to the proper channels. And then I also created a dashboard which allowed them to visualize the different metrics from these forms or from these documents. And with that, it was really nice to be able to discuss with the stakeholder how it's impacted them. And they told me that before the process that they worked on, they had to manually input this information into a spreadsheet. They had to go through and email this information separately to different people. And with all that, they told me that the amount of time that took, which was in the hours, only took seconds when it was all automated and just sent through our pipeline.
Crazy how much we take that stuff for granted. I know we always underestimate thinking it's going to take no time at all, but that stuff takes forever. So I'm sure everyone appreciates what you've done to help them. All right, so another question for the whole group. To those who are starting out in their careers and maybe want to make the move into the technology space, especially those like you, Oscar, who kind of went in another direction and want to make that shift, what advice would you have for them, Mahdi?
I think as much as it is important to be brushed up on the technical aspect of the job, I think the social aspect is very important as well. So reaching out and networking, looking for people in positions that you're interested in, and having those conversations about what it takes to get into that spot, I think are very important and very key.
Cool. Vipul?
Yeah, adding on to what Mahdi said, it's important to have passion in what you're doing and interest in the role. So taking like courses or doing projects will help you like learn things, and just researching new things, always like learning, keeping up with the trends. Yeah, that's something that will always get you through.
And are there any trends that you're keeping an eye on in particular these days?
I think AI is the biggest trend going on right now. Yeah.
I think that's unavoidable for all of us,
Yeah.
no matter what we do.
Definitely.
Oscar, what advice would you give to younger people?
For me, I would definitely say work on technical skills just as much as passion matters, and it does, because if you don't show a passion, then your employer might just look past you and think, oh, they're just doing it for said reason. But I mean, a passion is really important. But building up on technical skills like leak coding, I mean, I can't stress that enough. I discussed this with another co-op earlier, and they told me that was one of the key things that they feel like they bring to their team, their ability to problem solve. So, yeah.
Okay, and finally, the most important question. What's your vibe check on Fidelity? What's it like? What does it feel like working here on the emerging tech team?
I love it. I love the culture. I love the people. Our team is fantastic from day one, and the proof is I've been here for five co-op terms.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. I'm also extending over to the next term. So yeah, like I'm here hopefully to stay as well. And yeah, it's been a great experience. You said like it's a small team, but a mighty one. And we've been making good progress. Like we've been getting a lot of exposure as well. So it's been a valuable experience. Yeah.
Oscar?
Yeah, I mean, like they said, the culture is key. And over here, it's like a startup culture, but in a expanded form factor, because it's a big company. But at the same time, it's like you can openly discuss whatever you want with your team members and bring up any sort of ideas you have without feeling the pressure that, oh, it's a bad idea. And when I first came, I think the first week I spoke with the director of our team, and he told me, yeah, startup culture, that's what it was. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. This is like a billion dollar company. But no, it's great. Like I can openly have discussions with anyone from my colleagues over here to like my manager, and I can talk about whatever, bring up any sort of ideas I have. And I'd say that's great. That's an amazing thing for a company to be able to do.
Yeah, you never know where our good ideas are going to come from. No idea is too big or too small. So I'd love to hear that transcends across your team as well. Thank you all for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. It's been an amazing episode.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone else who tuned in today. We hope you're feeling inspired to start exploring the world of emerging tech in places like Fidelity. If you want to rewatch the show or share with those who missed it, you can find it under Fidelity Canada's LinkedIn events. And to those interested in career opportunities at Fidelity, stick around to the end of the show and get your phones out so you can scan the QR code that goes to our careers page. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure being your host, and we'll see you on the next episode.